Well, let's go ahead and throw you in the water because our first question comes to us from JJ. And JJ wants to know, what if someone dies from their injuries before they're able to even talk to a lawyer? Would their family be able to sue the guilty party on their behalf?
Well, the short answer is yes. Just because you die, obviously in a wrongful death action, the person dies before anybody considers consulting an attorney. And Georgia law is very specific in a wrongful death action as to who has the cause of action, that is the right to sue. If you're married, your spouse, and you die, your spouse has that cause of action. If you're not married and you have children, your children then have that cause of action. If you don't have any children and don't have a spouse, and your parents have that cause of action. There's some other, keep going as to who the proper party is, but yeah, they have the same right of cause of action that you would have had you survived. In other words, if you were able to, the same damages in terms of medical expenses would be recoverable by whoever survived the decedent. And other aspects of damages for the wrongful death would be the full value of the life of the decedent, and that would flow by statute to the people I just mentioned. So the proper plaintiff gets the bulk of the money typically, but if there are a lot of kids, there's a certain way it has to be divided up. But the short answer to the question is yes, it certainly survives the death. The cause of action does.
Okay. You might want to add, BJ, that if it's a wrongful death and there's a spouse, let's say if it's the breadwinner of the family, the man, and there's a spouse and 3 or 4 or 5 children, as to the wrongful death, the spouse will always get no less than 1/3. Is that correct?
That's right. And the children, no matter how many they are, divide the other portion.
Right. And then also in Georgia, there are 2 causes of action most times in a wrongful death if there is any conscious pain and suffering. That is a separate action. It goes to the administrator of the estate. And that case will be brought along with the wrongful death. Right. They can be the same party, or you can have a different administratrix or administrator, or you can have the two cases brought by one party.